How do I tell my daughter about Charles Oliveira? With a note from Dad. Hi, Avery. I want to talk to you about Charles Bronx Oliveira. Of all the 600 plus fighters on the UFC roster, Charles Oliveira is my favorite. I started watching the UFC around 2018. One day, I happened to see a guy named Charles Oliveira, and I immediately took a liking to him. He was an easy guy to root for. Charles grew up in a favela in Brazil. A favela is a very crowded and poor area. It can be extremely dangerous. To survive, his parents had to work very hard. Both his mom and dad worked 2 jobs to support the family. When Charles was 8, he developed a terrible pain in his ankles due to a disease called rheumatic fever. His parents would stand him up and he would fall over. He also had a heart murmur. Charles remembers the doctor telling his parents, "Your son won't be a normal kid." Charles was in and out of the hospital for 2 years. He also had to take shots every 3 weeks to keep his pain down. At age 12, his neighbor, Paulo, convinced Charles's mother to let him train jiu-jitsu. Paulo became like an uncle to Charles. The jiu-jitsu came naturally to Charles, and he won his first tournament only 1 month after he began training. The jiu-jitsu gave him confidence and helped Charles find himself. Unfortunately for Charles, 2 years after he started training jiu-jitsu, the violence in the favela affected Paulo. Paulo was caught in crossfire and died after being shot. Charles was devastated. Health problems, physical pain, and the loss of Paulo are all things Charles had to endure as a kid. At the age of 18, he started to compete in mixed martial arts and eventually joined the UFC. He started off strong but eventually became a journeyman fighter. A journeyman is someone who has been around a long time but hasn't had a lot of success. Like me, his daughter was born in 2018. After that day, things started to come together for him in a big way. He went on an 11-fight win streak, with 10 of those wins coming because he finished the fight and didn't need the judges to declare him the winner. After years of struggle, he finally had an opportunity to fight for the championship. In the championship bout, he started off strong, but was knocked down and was almost knocked out at the end of the first round. He survived and went on to win in the second round, and he became a UFC champion. 31 years of pain, loss, and difficulty paid off. The skinny kid from the favela, Bronx, had become a world champion. Charles eventually lost the belt, but he kept working and earned another title shot. Saturday night, Charles will have the opportunity to win the belt back. Life is never neat, easy, or what it might appear on a screen. Life is difficult. There are unfair challenges you will encounter, just like Charles. You will have many opportunities to give up, be lazy, cheat, and betray yourself. You will also have many opportunities to stand tall, outwork other people, have a sense of honor, and earn your self-respect. It is up to you, and you will live with your choices. When I think of why I like Charles Oliveira so much, it is because he has faced life's biggest disappointments with a giant smile on his face and an unshakable belief in who he is. To quote Charles, "The champion has a name, and his name is Charles Oliveira." I am excited to watch Charles fight on Saturday. He has inspired me and so many others by living life the right way. I love you. Love, Dad. So I wrote this note for my daughter about Charles Oliveira. It's probably the longest note I've ever written in 300 plus notes because I love Charles Oliveira. I love his story. He's had such a hard climb to the top. And I remember when he beat Chandler to win the vacant UFC lightweight belt, I was just overjoyed. I was so happy for him. And he lost the belt, but now he's fought. He's going to get a chance on Saturday night against Ilya to fight and win the belt again. And I'm so excited. And he's really already won. You know, win or lose, I'll always be a Charles Oliveira fan. And all the Charles Oliveira fans know exactly what I'm talking about. He's someone that's so fun to root for. He's got such a great smile. He's so humble. And that's why I'm so excited to write this note for my daughter and share it with her. I'm going to read it to her in about 30 minutes when I put her to bed. And I'm excited to share it with you. If you liked it, let me know. And please share it with other Charles Oliveira fans. And that is today's note from Dad.